What's going on, garden nerds? You know what day it is? It's Saturday and I am in the yard. It is getting hot. We had like a cool down during the beginning of the week, but now it's hot. It's right back into the hundreds and you can feel it, but I love it. I love this time of year because everything just starts to take off and grow fast. And plus, lots of fruit starts to come ripe during this time of year. That's what I want to show you today. Today, I am here in my front yard and I want to walk over here to my front side yard and show you what I have going on in this jungle. So take a look at all these peaches. I thought I thinned well. I always think that I thinned well, but guess what? I didn't thin well and I hardly ever come over here because it's the side yard. But look at all of my Florida Prince peaches. Today, actually, look in there, see that light color? A branch broke off because there was just way too much fruit. But I am starting to harvest all these. I'm starting to eat all of them. See how on the branches where they're like really small, or where there's a ton of them, they're a little bit smaller. If you thin them out, they get bigger. See that lone dog all by itself? That thing got a lot bigger because it wasn't crowded with a ton of peaches. So that's what I have going on here. And then also look at this tree. Check out all of these apriums. This is my aprium, my Flavor Delight aprium, and this thing is loaded. I don't really thin out my apriums or my apricots. They seem to grow fine without it. The only reason I would thin is just to protect the branches, because you can see here, like on this branch, it's sagging quite a bit. So that would be the only reason I would thin. But these apriums are really good. And also take a look at how I trimmed it. I trimmed it as like an umbrella type shape, a upside down umbrella. And so all the fruit is really, really low. There's not a piece of fruit that's higher than 4 or 5 feet. You can just see probably way too much fruit on here, but that's okay. I'm gonna start harvesting all of them. These Flavor Delight apriums are awesome. Have my hollyhock flowers going in here that I don't plant, but they just keep reseeding each year. Looking beautiful. And then here you can see, check out my, what is this? This is my mango. This is, I'm trying to blank on the name, my coconut cream. There it is, my coconut cream mango tree. Starting to get some good sized fruit on a lot of different places here. You can see more fruit here, 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 here. There's one right up there. So that is looking really good. The only thing I don't like about this tree is it just sags. It wants to grow down for whatever reason, and it drives me crazy instead of growing up. But this mango tree has thrived here, being planted so closely to my house. Like, that's only 3 feet away, and it loves it because during the winter I don't have to cover it, I don't have to worry about it, and it stays nice and warm, and then it's protected from here as well. So super happy with this mango, excited to get looks like maybe a dozen mangoes, maybe a little bit more this summer. Here's some other mango seedlings. This is really starting to take off. This one, this is the only grafted one. That's a seedling, that's a graft, that's an Edgar. Looking really good. That's a seedling. Showed you guys this one before. I keep hoping on one of these video updates, this one's gonna look good. It doesn't look good yet, but it's still alive, it's still kicking. And I'm not gonna mess with it until it dies completely. So you can see here I threw down a lot of my grass clippings from when I mowed my yard yesterday. As I talk about all the time, all my trees love the grass clippings, and that will all be disappeared, be gone by the next week. So these cannas are looking real good. Here's my plumeria, and then this Royal Poinciana is now just taking off. Royal Poincianas love the heat, love the sun. Give them the most heat and sun that you can, and they will just thrive. So excited for this thing to get huge and massive. And look, got a little garden helper today, Jade and Dolly. They're hanging out in the yard. It's not too hot. This salvia, love it, growing like crazy. Here's my apricot tree. I've talked about this. I had tons of blossoms this year, tons and tons. And in the past when that's happened, I've gotten tons of fruit. That didn't happen. Most of the blossoms fell off, fruit did not form. And so I only have a couple dozen apricots this year, which is really depressing because I love these. And this tree can really produce. I just think it didn't get cold enough this winter. There wasn't enough chill hours. And so the fruit didn't set. didn't hold on. But at least I'll get a couple dozen. You can see them all in here, so super excited about that. Let me take you around to the backyard and show you what I have going on. Before I go into my backyard, I want to show you, so this composted chicken manure is something that I love, something that I swear by. I get it at AMP Nursery, and I feed my trees often with this, especially through the summer. They love it. And then also I get this fish emulsion, and I feed my trees with that. They love that as well. So that's what I'm feeding all my trees with today. And now as I come into my backyard, here's my orange jubilee. I need to trim this now. I've talked about how I want it to be like an arch as you walk in, but it does need to be trimmed up. So I just love these flowers, and I love the bees and hummingbirds and everything else all around them. So, all right, let's look here. I told you last week I planted some seeds. You know, I have my sweet potato growing, but here's, I believe this is pumpkin that I planted, and that sprouted, so that's good. I'm gonna grow the sweet potato up and over this raised garden bed, so it will shade the pumpkin when it gets really, really hot. In here, cool canna lily. Oh, look at that. That thing needs to be watered. I planted that mango seedling in the ground, and you can tell it is not liking that heat. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to water it. But I planted that one, and then I planted that one right there. Dang, that's concerning. I'm gonna water that right now and maybe even give it some shade. Here we have another pumpkin seed, and here the birds were taking these loofah seeds. So I covered them with this cup, and look at that, loofah seed incoming. And I did the same thing right there. Look at that, my garden helper is gonna help me. Don't put it right on the leaf, Jade, put it right down next to it. Yep, just like that. Let's just let it soak there. Good job, thank you. I think I told you last week I got this in the ground, and let me show you one other thing over here. All right, so take a look at this garden bed. Here's all my old broccoli, but here is also watermelon that is starting to grow and spill out of the bed, which is what I want. Here, I want that to spill out. So I want the whole thing to be covered, and then I just want it to spill out. I don't care if it grows along the grass, that's what I want. Here in this spot, this is a banana. Just planted this banana. This is an ice cream banana that I planted here. I want this to grow up and cover this block wall. That's a mango. That's a mango. All right, let's see. Jade, tell us what we have growing here.
This is corn.
Yes.
And I planted this. This goes in lines so that it looks good and you can easily get them.
Yes, you planted the seeds, and soon you're gonna be able to eat the corn that you planted, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do we know what we have in here?
This is squash. This is
Sunflower. We planted squash right here. Look, see that right there?
This is squash.
No, this is squash right here.
This is squash.
So we planted this so it will grow at the bottom of the corn and help shade and protect and hold in moisture for the corn. And then we also planted right here, and I was covering this as well to protect it from the birds, some beans, and the beans are going to add nitrogen to the soil, which corn loves, and then grow up the corn stalks.
Dad, isn't this watermelon?
That is watermelon. Yes, Solly. Got some tomatoes in there, and then the last thing I'll show you guys for today is, as I talk about all the time, I hate block walls, especially here in Arizona. They're hot, they're ugly looking. So eventually, all of my mango seedlings are gonna grow up and cover this wall. But until then, I want to get a fast-growing vine planted here. So today I went and got this orange jubilee. And you can see right there, I'm gonna plant it against this fence, and then I'm going to just let it spread and take over that fence and give us a green fence instead of this ugly, hot block fence. She can be in there, yep. So that's what I have going on, guys.
Don't forget the mulberry tree.
Take a look at this. There's still lots you can do in your yard. Lots of stuff that loves our heat, loves the sun. So go out and plant. Let me know what you're planting. Let me know what you have going on in your yard. I love coming to you every single week so that you can see the slow progression, right? But there is progression. Each week it gets a little bit different, sometimes a little better, sometimes a little bit worse. But that's why I love gardening, because there's always constant change, and it's always challenging us and making us better. So that's what's going on in the yard today, guys. Let me know what's going on in your yard, and we'll see you next Saturday.